Hey guys, Destin Belfire X Dark Prince for you. I'm back with another Christmas story. As you all know, it's only a matter of time until the countdown, which this is only like 20 minutes until the countdown for the end of 2023. So I figure I'll make one last Christmas story, and then it's back to making normal scary stories slash riddles for you. But here I go. So here I have Christmas tree decorations. It's a spooky story about a girl who is home alone on Christmas Eve and has a nasty encounter with a man claiming to be Santa Claus.
I am Santa Claus. Do you want to join me and see for yourself on what the North Pole looks like?
Sorry, just imagine that's what that he would say. That creepy picture of a zombie like man dressing as Santa. And I kind of remember, so I kind of heard this story. I think it's going to be the same story about the fake Santa, that Sebastian K22. If you know him, he's a YouTuber. He made a scary story. He made scary story shorts. Yeah, he made a scary story short about the fake Santa on YouTube. So if you guys know Sebastian K22, then you would understand what I'm saying. But nonetheless, here I am with one last Christmas story to end off 2023. So here it is. So this is Christmas tree decorations. Enjoy. The curtains rises up on the theater of the abyss. It was Christmas Eve, and an 11-year-old French girl named Juliet was decorating the Christmas tree. Her mother was working as a nurse at the local hospital, and the two of them lived alone in a small apartment in the suburbs of Paris. Late that evening, Juliet's mother called to say she would not be home until late that night. Juliet continued to decorate the tree with all of the lovely things her mother had brought at the store. She draped some multicolored Christmas lights around the tree and hung beautiful ornaments on the branches. After placing the angel on the top of the Christmas tree, she finally finished decorating and sat down to relax and watch TV. Even though she was all alone in the sixth floor apartment, Juliet felt safe as she gazed out across the lights of the Parisian skyline. From her window, she could see the Eiffel Tower and the Champs de Mars. Most of the other tenants in the building had gone home to spend Christmas Eve with their relatives in the countryside. The apartment building was almost deserted. Juliet was growing bored, waiting for her mother to return. Suddenly, she thought she heard a scratching noise at the front door. She turned on the television and listened carefully. There was an eerie silence. Curious, she slowly approached the door and looked through the peephole. To her surprise, she saw a man standing outside, dressed in a red suit with fluffy white trim. He was large and fat, with a dirty gray beard, and wore a red hat on his head. He knocked at the door loudly. Nervous and concerned, she asked through the door, Who's there?" "It's Santa Claus," the man replied. "Let me in. I'm cold and I'm tired and I'm hungry." At this, a chill went down Juliet's spine. She was no dummy. She knew that whoever this creepy man was, he wasn't Santa Claus. My mother isn't home right now, she said, her voice shaking. Please leave. Peering through the peephole, Juliet watched as the man's eyes filled with anger and his face twisted into a grimace of hate. He began knocking at the door even harder and rattling the doorknob.
It's Santa Claus, Juliet, he growled. Have you laid out some milk and cookies for me, Juliet? You know how much Santa loves his milk and cookies.
Sorry, sorry. Just imagine if that's the way he would say that. Sorry. The young girl had a sinking feeling in the pit of her stomach. How did he know her name? Then the man began kicking and pounding at the door. She peeked out again and saw him reach into his coat pocket and pulled out the switchblade. He shoved the knife into the keyhole and tried to pry it open. Juliet was terrified. She didn't know what to do. If you don't go away, I'll call the police, she shouted. All of a sudden, the knocking stopped. Juliet stood perfectly still, afraid to move. Minutes passed, and she started to think that the man might have been scared away by her threat. She slowly approached the door and looked through the peephole to see if the man was really gone. The hallway seemed to be empty. Suddenly she saw the man running down the hallway with an axe in his hand. Juliet screamed and ran to the closet in a panic. She crouched down and hid behind the coats as tears of fright rolled down her cheeks. She heard the boom, boom, boom as the man tried to smash down her front door. There was a mighty crack as the door gave way and the man came crashing through the splinter wood. Laughing to himself, he called out,
Juliet, my pretty, where are you, Juliet? Don't be afraid. We'll have ourselves some fun tonight. Where are you hiding?
Sorry. Anyways, the crazed intruder walked around the house searching for the frightened girl. Julia curled up in the closet, trembling with fear. She dreaded to think what he planned to do to her. Suddenly, the handle of the closet moved up and down. Then the door began shaking, and she heard the man's voices laughing.
Ha ha ha! Juliet, I know you're in there, he said. Open up for Santa! Open up before I open you up!
The man swung his axe and it struck the closet door with a huge bang, tearing into the flimsy wood. Juliet screamed and began crying bitterly. She grabbed the wire coat hanger and twisted it into a point. She waited, his eyes open wide and her hands were trembling. There was another loud crash and the closet doors gave way with a haul of splinters. The horrible man tore the doors off their hinges and thrust his head in between the coats. He was laughing and drooling like a madman as his huge gnarled hands grabbed at the horrified girl. Juliet held up the pointed end of the coat hanger and bravely thrust it into the man's face and went into his eye. He recoiled in pain, screaming with rage as blood flowed down his cheek. He ripped the wire out of his eye socket and grabbed Juliet by the hair. Then she dragged her, kicking and screaming, out of the closet. The man pushed her to the ground and held her tightly by the neck. Leaning over her, blood spilled out of his eye, splattered all over his face, his mouth twisted into a grotesque smile, and he whispered in her ear,
Tonight you will Tonight you will be privileged, my lovely Juliet. I've got a list and I've checked it twice. I'm here to decide if you've been naughty or nice. You can scream and beg for your life, but naughty girls get the axe and nice girls get the knife.
It was after midnight. Then, when Juliet's mother returned home, she saw the front door hacked to pieces and rushed inside to look for her daughter. Gazing out the carnage, her eyes struggled to take it in all. Then she began screaming in absolute horror. The Christmas tree was decorated with Juliet's entrails, and her severed head was perched on the top. What? Holy freaking crap! That that guy's a maniac, and yeah, a maniac, and a madman. He's really creepy and terrified. But yeah, who knew that? Who knew that he knew Juliet's name? Like how he just met her dressing as the fake Santa and killed her with the axe and put her entrails and her severed head in the Christmas tree. But holy cow. But anyway, either way, so that was Christmas tree decorations. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the new year 2024. Hope you got hope guys I hope that I'll continue making scary stories until the new in the new year for the following months for the new year 2024, and hope you guys had a great new year, and I don't know, wait, yeah, and a happy new year. So here other ways, so yeah, so that was Christmas tree decorations. See you guys. The curtains closes up on the Theater of the Abyss.